Hello and welcome to the channel. Leader of the Pan-Yoruba group, Afenifere, Paul Ayo Adebanjo, has called on the election tribunal to address Obi's petition before the May 29 inauguration of President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He noted that that was the only way to ensure a transparent and unbiased process. Afenifere, a Yoruba group, has been a strong advocate for Peter Obi, an Igbo man, becoming the country's next president, stating all the while that power should shift to the southeast to ensure equity, justice, and fairness. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Address Peter Obi's petitions against Tinubu before May 29, Afenifere tells Tribunal. Afenifere has asked the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal to resolve the petition filed by the candidate of the Labour Party LP, Peter Obi, against the victory of the President-elect Bola Tinubu before May 29 inauguration. The Pan-Yoruba Socio-Cultural Organization stated this on Thursday during the April edition of its general meeting held in Ijebu-Ibo, Ogun State. In a communique released after the meeting by its leader, Ayo Adebanjo, and its secretary, General Shola Ebiseni, Afenifere insisted that it would continue to support what it called the victory of Peter Obi in the February 25th presidential election and all its plan to reclaim a stolen mandate. The group reiterated that the emergence of a president from the southeast would guarantee equity, fairness, and peaceful coexistence among Nigerians. Afenifere strongly called on the judiciary to ensure all petitions in respect of the presidential election are timeously and justly resolved before the end of the tenure of the Buhari administration. Afenifere described this as the only way through which the confidence Nigerians have in its intervention may be earned, stating that similar precedents in this regard have been laid, even by less endowed countries in Africa. According to the communique, Afenifere also asked the federal government not to be wasteful by committing about 100 billion naira to the coming population census. Afenifere maintained that there is no compelling reason why the census must be held by the expiring President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. The group therefore called for all steps and preparations in that regard to be stopped forthwith. Meanwhile, the factional chairman of the Labour Party LP, Lamidi Apapa, has said that there are ongoing negotiations aimed at resolving the crisis in the party. He stated that the LP presidential flag bearer, Peter Obi, and the party's leadership are working tirelessly to bring the crisis to an end. Apapa gave this hint on Friday while fielding questions on Arise Television's news program. According to him, the leaders of the party LP, including our principal, the presidential candidate, Peter Obi, is also working on it. We are expecting him to call a meeting, and once that meeting is called, we sit down and resolve the matter. The crisis in the LP took a wrong turn after Papa's faction suspended 5 executive members, including the embattled national chairman Julius Abure. Recall also that the Abure-led faction suspended 5 executive members at the National Executive Council in Asaba, Delta State. The suspended members were Lamidi Apapa, the party's acting chairman Salem Lawal, Favor Ruben, Gbenga Daramola, Samuel Akingbade, and Mohammed Akali. Also, a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Ned Nwoko, has said the petition filed by the presidential candidate of the Labour Party LP, Peter Obi, against the victory of the president-elect Bola Tinubu is an exercise in futility. Recall that Obi had filed a petition to challenge the victory of Tinubu, the candidate of the All Progressives Congress (APC), in the February 25th presidential election. Obi, who came third in the election, alleged that the presidential election was characterized by irregularities, praying that Tinubu's victory be annulled. Speaking with journalists in Abuja on Thursday, Nwoko said Obi's petition filed against Tinubu at the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal in Abuja might fail once the president-elect is sworn in on May 29. The Delta North senator-elect stated it is almost impossible to stop Tinubu from completing his 4-year tenure, adding that LP's poor assessment of the polity and unrealistic expectations led to its defeat. Nwoko maintained that the ruling party would have suffered a severe defeat in 2023 presidential poll if the opposition had aligned, adding that an alliance between both parties is the only way to save Nigeria from the APC government. He said, once Tinubu is inaugurated as president, he takes charge of everything. He becomes the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He orders them and uses them as he wishes. He appoints new Chief Justice upon recommendation by the Judicial Council. So, you see, it is almost impossible to stop him from completing his 4-year tenure. Moving forward, the PDP and the Labour Party have to come to terms and make the next election more strategic. The natural alliance between both parties is the only way to save Nigeria from this inauspicious government. It would have been a landslide victory for the opposition if the Labour Party and the People's Democratic Party had worked together. Nwoko further blamed the LP and obedience for Obi's loss in the presidential election, stressing that they were too self-absorbed to give room for logical reasoning. Peter Obi, presidential candidate of LP who spoke in Asaba while addressing the National Executive Committee (NERC) of the party, said he never expected the journey to a new Nigeria to be an easy one, saying that the forces who had over the years lived off the old order were bound to fight back as is being experienced now. Underscoring the determination of the group involved in this project to resist intimidation or harassment of any kind and from any quarter, Obi said, if they come at us through land, air, and sea, we will respond to them through land, air, and sea, but we will remain law-abiding and will never give up on the nation. We are on the right path and we will remain committed to the course. The former Anambra State Governor reiterated his commitment to a Nigeria that will be beneficial to every Nigerian, as he maintained that the struggle to reclaim the mandate was not about him as a person, but about millions of Nigerians who reposed their trust on him through their votes. The millions of Nigerians who voted for me did not just cast their votes, but they invested their hope in me. They deserve justice, so we must stay the course. That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time, bye.